All right, let's welcome Chukwudi Okoli Ubaja on set. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Ere. How now?
Very well. How
Always
you doing?
good to see you and Victor.
Good to see you
A
too.
lot of pleasant mischief coming from here. A lot of elegant goodness coming from the other side.
Thank you. Thank
well,
you.
the combination makes it work.
Yes. Good to see you guys.
All right, let's see what the papers have this morning. We'll begin with the Daily Times. Daily Times leads with Nigerian Correctional Service sacks 15 officers, demotes 59 over misconduct. And looking at some other stories, of course, Kwam One is everywhere in the news, and it's also right here on the Daily Times this morning. And the story here says action offense under Nigerian law. Fun, as Kiamo orders no-fly ban. Details on page 15. Away from all of that, below the picture story we have, and also demands Showori's immediate release, warns against return to dictatorship. All right, that's on page 2. FCTA storms Abuja Black Sports, destroys shanties, impounds 20 vehicles. And next to that, Remi Tinubu donates 10 TB diagnostic machines, 1 billion naira to FCTA. That's on page 5. And FGI's PPP to bridge 3 trillion naira gap as NNPCL exits road funding. You want to find out what that's about? Page 12 will guide you. And finally, Tinubu nominates 39-year-old Abdullahi Ramat as NEC chairman. All right, let's see what Business NG is offering this morning. It leads with Nigerians spend 10.6 billion naira daily on data despite widespread poverty. That's what the Business NG holds as its lead story. Quite interesting. Above that, telecom industry faces shake-up as NCC rolls out tough governance rules. Details on page 2. Below the picture story, amid soaring inflation, Nigeria's stock market accounts for 25% of GDP. And finally, on the front page of the Business Engine this morning, we have Obi's one-term pledge rattles Northern Power Block. That's on page 2. All right, Victor.
Thank you, Yemre. I have a Leadership Friday here with me, and as it is elsewhere, the lead story reads, NCAA moves to prosecute K1 after 6-month flight ban. And it has 3 riders. NCAA writes AGF, IGP for action. K1 physical blockage of aircraft from taxiing reprehensible. That's credited to Keyamo. And everybody involved in incident, including security men, under probe. That's according to the NCAA. And the pictures of all concerned are here. The Minister, Captain Chris Najomo, DG NCAA, Kwamwan himself, and the Captain, Ulunoti Ogoyi, who is also being sanctioned. Just above the nameplate, Anioma State as the 6th Southeast state. Okay? For details, find it on page 4. Below the nameplate, banks' indiscretion almost ruined power sector. Experts. The story continues on page 7. And beside, just inside the nameplate, NACON pegs 2026 Hajj Fair at 8.5 million naira is on page 7 as well. And trending, WAEC under attack over shutdown of result checking portal. Down the line, 30s and for our communities protest against insecurities on page 6. FG orders suspension of land allocation along Lagos Lagoon shoreline is on page 35. And negotiations with bandits in other states causing problem in Niger is credited to the governor on page 37. And finally, Borno community in shock over mysterious death of family of 4 is on page 7. Chukwudi.
This Senator Nwoko push for Anambra State that will be part of Southeast, I don't know what plebiscite has been carried out to know how many of us sign up to that.
There have been reactions.
Yeah, I'm from that side. But that's an aside. I don't see how being part of Southeast is going to hurt anyone. No state lords anything over another state. You determine what happens in your state.
It's going to be relocated.
Exactly. So I'm not one of those Nigerians who engage in, things that don't matter concerning But the point we need to make is this. Is it really the creation of more states that is the solution here? Look, my dad, my mom told me how they were getting free books when Midwest State, it had not become Midwest then, when that part of the Nigerian Federation was under the Western region. Obafemi Awolowo did not neglect them because they were not in Yoruba land and all that. It is about accountability, being true to the people, allocating resources properly, knowing that no man is above any other man. We are all created equal by him. And being a prudent manager, you know. But in Africa, every family would want to get its own state. It's okay. If that's what people want, my people want, because I'm involved, as Juku said, let them go ahead and have it. But at the end of the day, what we're looking for is accountability, prudence, respecting the rights of people you live with as your neighbors and all that. And you're going to see that the place thrives. Are they looking for a 51st state in the U.S. today? They're done with creating states. The rest is do your job and be accountable to the people. We keep dividing up.
But I think in the case of the Southeast,
yes,
it borders on equity. That every other geopolitical zone has 6. Make up as 6, just for balance. I agree with you, you know, in the rest of them, the way they put it. But I think the case of Southeast, it borders on equity.
Yeah, I hear that the geopolitical argument of it. As I said, okay, if that's what people want. It was Lucky Bunedio when he was campaigning to be governor. He said, give the people what they want. It's what the people want at the end of the day, not what Chukudi. I'm just airing my view as a journalist. This airport debacle, I really was saying yesterday that I didn't think that something being put out was Keamo's script, because I could fault a lot of mechanical inaccuracies in what was put out. But this is not a grammar lesson. Isn't there a standard operation procedure at the airports which by now professionals would have been accustomed to, and this kind of thing does not arise? That's the question I ask. In the newsroom, you bring up a script, the editor is looking for factuality, fairness, accuracy, objectivity, and balance. We know what we want already. When you now have an overzealous reporter or one that went for things that we didn't send him for, injecting something into the script, you know what to, you know? It was there when we were in those states. I covered the story, and my manager wanted to remove one of the upsounds. I said, oh God, that upsound has been paid for. Confessions I'm making on the air. He said, Chooks, my man, that's the best story in the news. Sometimes you convince your boss that certain things happen. So we know what we do. But the point is, we have our parameters for performance. So the airport by now should have standard operating procedure.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
So the question is, how did he get to the tarmac with...
That's the point.
That's the question.
If it does, is it again lack of enforcement? The other day we said enforcement, enforcement, enforcement. You give some Nigerians a blank check, they want to fill in any amount they like. So you need to police. These are the issues. Africa can grow, but Africa has to change its attitudes. God is not against us. It's more of we being against ourselves by the funny attitudes we put up. Then you turn around and blame Donald Trump.
I can tell you, Chukwudi, that if you had that exhibit, you won't make it to the tarmac with it.
Exactly.
You won't.
Exactly. So it's
if you and I had it, we won't make it.
Another question would be, I mean, when there are laws, should anybody be feared? Right? Irrespective of who they serve or who they are, or, you know, I mean, whose allies they are. Because, you know, like Victor was trying to ask, I'm sure he got there because he's Kwam 1, all right? If it was Victor, of course, he would not make it anywhere close. So why relax the laws? Because, you know, this person is influential, this person is close to this or that. So, I mean, all of that.
Sometimes It is self-imposed. It's like censorship, self-censorship. It's not the president asking you not to use a story. It's not the governor. You have built it into your system that, no, this one not going to go, and self-censorship. A traffic warden stopped me. He said I bit the light, and he said I was to be penalized. He got in my car. We drove to this car park in front of the secretariat. I started releasing vocabs. I will get to the bottom of this. I will do this. I will do that. I don't think I bit the light. I wasn't very sure whether I bit the light or not. After some time, the man said, Oga, this big Oyibo way they speak, it be like saying, no big man, I no one make you put me for trouble. Tears came out of my eyes. A man in uniform who was doing his job.
Oh, no.
I felt pity for this country. He was afraid of me. I should be afraid of him.
Exactly.
No, look, there are things we do. When Nigerians pray God out of heaven, I know they won't succeed.
None should actually be afraid of the other.
You must assert yourself. I
None
told
should
him,
be afraid
officer,
of
you
the
have
other.
disappointed me. We became friends. You should assert yourself. How could
Why
you say
would
that
you
I
be
could put you in
afraid
trouble?
when we have seen in cases
You know?
where people break the laws or do what is wrong, and then it is the officer who is trying to enforce that. That gets
Go
the big stick
to
at the end of the day.
Cairo Bridge. The people who are breaking the law, the road safety people will tell me, Oga, they see me every morning. I say, how would you let people go on?
They don't want to lose their jobs.
Go
or
on,
get
what do you call it,
sanctioned.
drive against traffic. You say,
But
Oga,
then
you say, Oga, if you know the people who are doing this, you'll be surprised.
But then the
He said
worst
some
part,
of them are lawmakers.
The
They are
worst
driving
part
one
of
way.
it.
And you want this country to move forward. Why are we so hypocritical about progress?
the worst part of it was trying to now use your body to block an aircraft.
Please don't go there.
Taking
Please don't go there. Let's move to other stories.
Don't even go there.
An
Don't
aircraft.
even go
That's
there.
under the influence of, let's stop that. Let's see what this Daily Times has here. It says Nigeria Correctional Service sacks 15 officers, demotes 59 over misconduct. I think, well, what do you think about this?
I don't know, but you get one song we see when I'm young. Since the morning, I never drink. Since the morning, I never chop. God will go punish you order. Is it that some people at the correctional service are really doing things that
They need to be corrected.
God not going to punish our orders, please. It was a childhood prank, But there are people who are putting out behavior that does not help the institution run properly. There must be a reason for what has happened now. And that's the way to go. Because as I said, if you give some
And we
Nigerians a
hope that
blank
one
check,
of the reasons is not stepping on a big man's toes.
well, that's another edge to it, possible edge.
I think that's on a lighter note anyway, because that sheer number cannot it just be because they stepped on the big man's toe.
Yes.
Most times it's related with their behavior towards or in collusion with inmates.
But then you can take a case to court if you think you have been unfairly treated.
You can.
Democracy permits you to do that. Okay.
All right, producer says it's time to go. Many thanks, Chukudi. It was indeed nice having you again today.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
We hope
I
to
will.
see you fired up on Monday.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, so we'll pause. So when we come back, we get into our conversation. We're still talking about brain health. You want to stay put for this one. See you shortly.
From the Atlantic across the savannah to the Sahara.